Well, if you want to go shark diving, as crazy as that sounds, off Stewart Island, you can. There's actually a business that operates out of Dunedin, heads to Stewart Island through the summer months and gives tourists and visitors the chance to go diving in a cage with sharks. Actually, there's an issue at the moment because DOC has to issue permits for this, and there is a case going through the High Courts at the moment that's basically questioning whether DOC has the authority to do this, Dominic George, which means that there are some operators of Shark Tank experiences in New Zealand, or shark cage experiences in New Zealand, who are kind of in a bit of a limbo, not really understanding whether they're going to operate or not.
Yeah, which must be really horrible for them as business owners and operators if you've got this amount of uncertainty that is surrounding your livelihood at the moment. I, for one, would love to do a shark dive.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
No, I don't know about doing one at Stewart Island in 6 degrees water, but I've always thought, if you're in South Australia with the great whites, or if you're in South Africa.
Yeah.
Although it's funny, in the last couple of weeks, I have seen 2 viral videos coming up of great whites getting into the shark cages.
You're joking? I thought they couldn't get...
No, 2. I've seen 2 in the last few weeks.
Okay, maybe I'm going to revise that.
And one of them, the shark gets in down the bottom, gets in, thrashes around, then gets itself out, and the camera just stays there. And after about 30 seconds, the head goes... Not just the head. No, don't panic. Not just the head. I was going to say, what? No, so the head and then... No. So he was down there, obviously curled into the corner with this great white shark. Anyway, but Peter Scott, who is Shark Dive New Zealand's owner-operator, he's based out of Carries Bay. He says this of the situation. We applied for this permit back in April. They have had 8 months to sort it out, and they are incapable of doing it. It must be the most useless department in the government. All we want is a permit to go out and do our work.
Yeah, what a perfectly valid complaint there from this owner-operator. And what did he say there? That they're the worst government department? I reckon there'll be some others that would probably give them a good run for their money.
We should do that. A top 10.
A top 10 of worst government departments?
Yep.
That, I tell you what, that would be a big list. You'd have to shrink to 10. That would take some big debate. But how can you argue with the guy? Look, April, come on. Surely they could sort this out by now.
And they're talking about there are already people booked in for the upcoming season.
Yeah, of course there are.
There's tourists coming from overseas.
Yep.
I guess the other thing about this interests me. Now, I understand we're looking after our environment and we've got to do things right, but to actually require a permit to drop a cage in the water to look through, is that not the exact example of too much bureaucracy? I mean, I understand you want to be careful that these people aren't just dropping tanks in, cages into the water and damaging the environment, but it seems that if I wasn't running a business, I wouldn't need a permit to do that. I could just go and do it.
That's a good point, actually, although you probably do need some sort of regulation around this sort of thing. Imagine if one of the South African incidents occurred and went all awry. Imagine the uproar and then there'd be the overreaction, so it would be over litigious. But really, I don't know, is there an explanation for why it's being held up so long?
Well, I think we probably should just give a fair counterpoint by looking to Q15, which is the guys from DOC. They say this: we are working as fast as we can. However, the process for issuing permits is complex and has been further complicated by legal proceedings before the High Court. So I guess you can't get blood out of a stone, but then again, April to December seems long enough. I mean, if you can get an RMA consent, that's supposed to be the hardest thing in the world to get.
Yeah.
Surely you can go, oh yeah, drop your cage in the water, or no, don't. That should be done by now.
Yeah, it should easily be done by now.